welcome to the stream. My name is Dusk. I am your very own Plague Nurse Pokemon Master. We're doing a Pokemon tier list for a change today. I've been wanting to do this. It was either this or a Smash or Pass Pokemon edition, but I don't know if I could do that like as seriously as some do, or like the ones where they don't think about it and they just click fast. I have to think about it and it would just end up passing everything. So I don't think it would have been as fun as a tier list. So this is gonna be a series I'm hoping to do. I want to go through all the gens because there's no way I'm doing every single Pokemon in one tier list. Because, good lord, what is there, like 1,000 some now? 1,000 what? I don't know the exact number, but oh my gosh, there's way too many. Also, depending on how I feel at the end of doing all the Pokemon, might do a tier list for the gym leaders and like the leagues, because I think that'd be fun too, because everyone has different views and takes on them. Also, I'm going to apologize right now if my takes might be some hot ones, so if you see your favorite in a low rank, you know, this is just my opinion on them. You like what you like, okay? But there's some Pokemon I know that are pretty well loved that I'm going to probably put very low, because they're not my cup of tea. Also, they weren't like ones I used. Those that I used on my team will probably be put more often. You know what, let's just get into the tier list and we'll take it from there. I'll explain how I'm gonna rank them. So let's go over to the screen, which you see we have all 151 Gen 1 Pokemon. I included Mew. I assume Mew is more looked as a Gen 1 than a Gen 2, even though it's like, it wasn't, was it technically in the first game? It was like the truck thing. I don't think it was added in until what? Oh, which one was it? Was it yellow? No, or was it like leaf green or something like, I don't know. I've been into Pokemon since I was a kid, but I don't remember everything because there's just so much. Unfortunately, I never got to play all the games either growing up. I wanted to. I was one of those people that video game for me was once in a blue moon purchase because they're so expensive. They're still expensive, to be real, but so I didn't get all the Pokemon games. It's only recently that I've been able to play a lot of the remakes of ones I missed. So that has been nice. My very first game, though, wasn't Gen 1, it was Gen 2. I started with Pokemon Gold, which will always be my favorite Pokemon game. I love Johto. Johto's my favorite gen. It's just got a special place in my heart. Even though my favorite Pokemon aren't all from Johto, it's still, like I said, my favorite gen. I just like the story, and the fact you could go from Johto to Kanto in the one game was just so awesome. Also the towers and everything. It was so interesting. Other than that, I played Yellow. I didn't play any of the originals. Then from there, I think I had X was the next one, so yeah, I missed a lot. But I didn't have the consoles for those other ones. And then I got to play, I think it was Alpha Sapphire. I have Moon, Shield, Violet, and I want to say Diamond remake, or did I get Pearl? I don't remember which of the two of the remakes I got. I got those. I am really hoping there's a black and white remake coming because I would love to try those. Like, the things I've seen about those games, I want to play them. I want to play them so bad, so hoping for a remake. And even though Johto's my favorite, I never got the opportunity to play Heart Gold and Soul Silver, even though I really wanted to. I only know OG Gold. But yeah, But that's not the gen we're focusing on. We're focusing on the Kanto Pokemon, the very first gen as we're ranking. Let me get some... I'm going to attempt something I have not done yet before. I'm going to put some lo-fi music on in the background. I hope this music's okay. Apparently, according to YouTube, this is Twitch safe. I guess we'll find out and put the audio on. I don't want it too loud because it's just background noise, but hopefully you'll hear it. Hopefully no ads play either. We'll see. I'll just have to like jump in. There it is. It's like Animal Crossing but Twitch safe remix lo-fi. I couldn't find Pokemon one, so it'll do. It's still Nintendo. But yeah, let's start our rankings. First up, of course, we have, some may argue, the very first Pokemon. Though some will say that is what, Clefairy, or some will say it is Mew. But we have Bulbasaur. Get an image up. So how I'm going to be ranking these, it'll be based on two things for me. First off, of course, like with everyone, appearances. We all have our different tastes of what looks cool or cute and what's kind of, you know, a miss for us. Then on the second ranking part, I will go by usefulness. Also, sorry if I mix my words around or kind of sound zoned out at all. I am struggling with one of my headaches. I think I'm catching the flu actually, so it's like been groggy today, but I really wanted to do this, so I didn't want to cancel the stream. So we're doing it just maybe a smidge low energy. So excuse me for that. But yeah, usefulness. Now, a Pokemon could be more useful than I give it credit for, mind you, but I'm going off of how I play the game and what I've used. My teams are probably more weird. I usually go for the speed team. If I can hit fast and knock you out before you get a turn, that's my ideal. That's how I play. Is it like pro strats? No, I'm not someone that uses status effects and stuff, even though I probably should. If there's like tail whip and all that stuff gets deleted. I only get attack moves. I am not the good player. I am this do big numbers like kid. It smacks the thing, it does what it's supposed to, it's super effective, I win, haha. If I was to play against someone that actually puts thought into it, I would probably lose very hard. Though recently I've been trying to do more competitive stuff on my own game. Like, I don't want to do PvP, it's just not my cup of tea. But I have been like getting into like looking at how to do IVs and all that stuff. It's a lot though. So I'm very base into it, like starter level. But I enjoy a little bit. I like breeding and doing that, and then I like to, if I do get a bunch of like high IVs, I like to send them out in wonder trades and surprise people. It's a lot of work though. But yeah, Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur's cute. He got the smile. As a term for usefulness, I'm gonna be honest, in Gen 1, my go-to starter was always Squirtle. I did try Bulbasaur, and I did try Charmander too. I like to try them all at some point, but Bulbasaur was not my first go-to. It is useful though because, you know, we got Brock. The grass typing helps. It is cute. I don't think it's anything like D, E, or F. I know a lot of people are like, you know, give the sympathy to the Bulbasaur because of all the hate Bulbasaur used to get. But I think nowadays Bulbasaur is pretty well loved. But for me, I'm afraid Bulbasaur gets the C tier. It's an okay Pokemon, but it's kind of average for me. Right on time. Hi, Curious One. Welcome in. I'm tempting a tier list. So as I said at the beginning, I apologize if anyone's favorite Pokemon gets a low ranking. My taste is going to be probably very weird compared to some. Wait till you all see where I put Charizard. Aw, thank you. It's good to see you. And also, apologies if I'm a little out of it. I think I'm fighting a flu. But I didn't want to cancel because I was really excited for this game. Okay, no worries, thank you. Also, y'all already see the one Pokemon that's gonna get S rank instantly sitting on my shoulder. I had to feature my face. one of my favorites from the gen. This was my very first favorite Pokemon, but we'll talk more about it when it's the turn of that Pokemon. So anyway, next up we have Ivysaur. Now, let me move this over because the chat box is going to be there. I'll do this. Ivysaur, again, like Bulbasaur. I didn't really use much. Though I'm gonna be honest, I do like Ivysaur's look more than Bulbasaur. Hi Catsy, welcome in. We're ranking the Gen 1 Pokemon. I did like Ivysaur's design. I like the fangs. There was more of a cool... I don't know what it is about the middle evolutions. There was some, like, a cool factor. They, like, went from cute baby to the sassy teenager cool kid level, and then it's just, like, badass adult with the last evolutions. But Ivysaur, yeah, again, I wasn't much for grass starters, at least not in this gen. Later gens, I started falling in love with grass starters more. It just wasn't my cup of tea, which is kind of funny given me being the plague nurse and all about herbs and stuff and all. But just wasn't me. I was always I always went for the water starters, sometimes fire, but water starters were usually it probably was based on my love of Totodile from Gen 2. But yeah, I'm gonna put Ivysaur above Bulbasaur though, because again, Bulbasaur cute, but it's C for me. Ivysaur's a bit cooler, so do B. I started all the way back on Pokemon Yellow version. I played Yellow. It wasn't my first game, sadly. My first was OG Gold. I didn't get to play most of the games, sadly, because, you know, growing up, I didn't get consoles as much as I would have liked. And getting a video game was like a once in a blue moon surprise for me. But now that the remakes have been coming out, I've been able to catch up, which has been so nice. Alright, next, we have, of course, Venusaur. Which, this is gonna be funny. Video games were a luxury for me. Yes, same. A lot of my video game experience from early on was friends. Like, I borrowed games or I was over their house and played, and I sometimes to a bad degree I'd be on they would put a video game up and they're like, let's play. I'm like, okay, cool, I never get to, and then they regret letting me try them because I'd be on it forever. But yeah, Venusaur. Again, we got the adult version, the one that always looks high with their eyes when they did the attacks. At least in Stadium, I did have Stadium, and I remember when it attacked, the red eyes. It was quite interesting. Some of the stuff in the Stadium was zany. I miss Pokemon Stadium. I miss the mini games. I just want all the mini games. But for me, again, Venusaur was kind of slow. I didn't really like using real slow Pokemon. There was a few exceptions on that rule. So, but Venusaur was kind of tanky, but not as much as some. And of the three of Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur, I have to say Venusaur is D. It's alright. It gets higher than E and F because of the fact it's like a starter, and starters have that like coolness to them that keep them from being super low, but meh. Now here's my hot take time. Oh boy, this is the one that people are gonna get angry at me for. We're going into the Charizard line. The very, very popular line that was meh for me. Charmander we got. Charmander's cute. Charmander was fun to knock into the lava pit in Pokemon Snap, if anyone remembers that, to get Charmeleon and then Charizard. Oh, I remember. Snap was wild, how you got them to evolve. It was mean. But I used Charmander. I thought Charmander was a bit more useful than, like, Bulbasaur. But again, design-wise, you know, it's just orange. It has a fire on its tail, but that's about it for me. It's not very standy-outy for me. It's higher than Bulbasaur, but it's still C. Next, and this is going to be the same thing with Bulbasaur, Charmeleon. It's cooler than Charmander to me. I just like, there's something with the design is just better than Charmander's. There's more to it, I guess it is. Well, I mean, that's given because it's the second evolution. But I like Charmeleon's look. I actually like Charmeleon a little more than Charizard design-wise, oddly enough. I don't know why. But I like Charmeleon. It was pretty useful in the game when you got the evolution. It started being good. Not so good in Gen 1 in the beginning because, again, Brock, and then you had, like, Misty. It was painful to start with the starter. You had to rely a lot on what you captured, at least for me. Because I think, unless I knew low kick, because fighting was still, I like trying to remember what typings were good in Gen 1 is also something I'm fuzzy on, because there's been so much switch ups since Gen 1 because of the extra typings and have some dual typings. But yeah, it's B. It's better than Ivysaur though. It's better than Charmander, but it's not one of those top ones for me. And now for the controversial one for me, Charizard. Charizard was okay. I mean, it's Fire Dragon and awesome, but I didn't get the hype into Charizard. At least not until the Mega Evolutions. I did enjoy, like, which one was it? Y or X Mega Evolution? The one that was like black and the blue. I love that one. The Mega Evolution sell on me. Yeah. I just never was much X. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Those, but they're not in this because again, it's Gen 1. The Mega's not going to be in this one. So Charizard, unfortunately, though a bit more useful, D tier. A little better than Ivysaur, but it's still D tier. Alright. Now we get to my boy. Of the starters in this gen for me, Squirtle. I love water starters. I don't know what it is. They just always felt more useful. Precious Little Beansy. Also, you know, the Squirtle squad was pretty awesome. Just put the sunglasses on. I use Squirtle a lot. I also really, even though again I was always saying I'm big into a speed team, I like the Blastoise line because just how versatile, like, was it my Blastoise knew, like, again I could be mixing my gens up, but having used Blastoise I just remember it knew Earthquake. I think I taught it Ice Punch, the water, so like being able to do multiple different typings helped, and I like the versatility. And it was just tanky. It was so beefy. Even if something was super effective, it was hard to take it down, and that's why I love the Squirtle line. So Squirtle gets, well, I don't think it's quite A, but it's higher than these, so it's a B. However, it is going to increase as we go further in. Squirtle is adorable. We got the War Turtle, the tail, which I always thought was really cool. We got the ears, War Turtle with the sassy look. But why am I putting Squirtle? It's also B. It's gonna be Blastoise that we get higher. War Turtle a little better there, but this is higher than them. Alright. Blastoise. It's a turtle that has cannons in its shell. I mean, it's simple, but that is just so cool. And again, the megas and all that stuff coming out is just, this thing turns into a beast. And I love Blastoise. And look at the side eye. It knows it's top tier. It knows it's a great Pokemon. Blastoise is champ. Blastoise gets to be, I don't think it's quite S. I'm saving S for those that I really love. It is A rank though. That is one of my team right there. Blastoise is one of my team. I remember the nickname I gave it. Even though it was like a silly nickname from when I was little, I always name it the same thing. I always keep my nicknames that I first give them, if I can remember them. That's Hydro right there. Though I kind of think I named my Feraligatr the same thing, to be honest. But yeah, I used to name it Blastoise. My Blastoise was Hydro. No, not after Hydro Pump. It was just, I don't know. I just named it that. Alright, next. Caterpie. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't much of someone that used bug types. They were fillers. The wormy lad, indeed. The thing that freaked Misty out in the old series. I was not much of one to use bug types. Not until later gens. Like, in the newest games, in Violet and Scarlet, I love, okay. Again, I'm working with my headaches, so my brain is going to not want to work with me. What is the name of it? It's gonna bug me now. The evolution of Ponard and Bisharp. King something. King Gambit. That's it. I got it. Headache brains. Great, isn't it? But King Gambit, I love that Pokemon to death. I use that thing on my team. It's so good. And the design is just moi, but again, we're not in Scarlet and Violet. We're in Gen 1. Caterpie's cute. I will say that saves it from F tier. But not E tier. I didn't really care for using them. They were kind of like fodder, I guess, at the beginning, just to have a team. But that's it. Like I said, I didn't really use status effects, so like string shot, things like that, poison sting somewhat, but didn't really use them much. It was more tackle. I wasn't a status person. So E. However, there is one lower than E. And then we have Metapod, or aka just Harden. This is Harden the Pokemon. That Metapod. Not Metapod, but yeah, this is Metapod. Yeah, and Kakuna. That's it. Unless you raised it from a Caterpie, it's just gonna know Harden. And it was obnoxious to fight at low levels if you were trying to level something and it got so many of them off. It was so annoying. I remember that one episode was it in that episode that they had two people face off with a Kakuna and a Metapod, or was it like two trainers you found fighting them? And I'm like, oh god, that is torment. I've done that too, actually. I have sent my Metapod versus another one and it took forever, but I got it off with the tackles. This is F. Useful, no. Just no. Not a fan. Not a fan of the design either. Just, It looks like a weird crescent moon gone wrong. Then we have Butterfree. Now, I have used Butterfree, even though I don't use bug types more. If I'm starting, I have used Butterfree a bit because the flying type moves were useful that it could learn. But it didn't really last long past, like, one gym. It was just get me through the darter routes till I found something better. So, but design-wise, I do like it a lot more than Caterpie and I keep wanting to say Kakuna. Metapod. However, I don't see it being higher than Charizard and Ivysaur. So it's D, but it's lower. Alrighty. It's basically we have the same thing here, except there might be a little bit of a higher ranking with two of them. That little nose though is adorable. How many people used to think this was a mouth, I wonder, and that the white mark was the tooth, and then just not be able to unsee that when like face on? There's a few Pokemon like that where if you see that, you just don't see it any other way afterwards. It made it fun though. You can do the little derpy faces. But Weedle, yeah, again, I think I was more into Caterpie than Weedle. Even though the final evolution of Weedle is a lot cooler than Butterfree in my opinion. This is also F. Not F. E. Nah, actually, this one's F. But it's better than Metapod. That I have Kakuna on the brain, so we're gonna get Kakuna done. Kakuna. I actually like this one's design, oddly. Even though its usefulness is as great as Metapod to me, design-wise, I actually like this, oddly. I don't know, I even like it more than Weedle, look-wise. But in terms of usefulness, the usefulness is going to keep it lower than I would put it for design. It's going to be F, but it's going to be higher than these two. Well, do I like it more than Caterpie? Actually, I do like it more design-wise than Caterpie. So you know what? E. Just because I like its design a lot. Next, Beedrill. I know a lot of people like Beedrill. Beedrill gets some cool evolutions later. Or the Mega. Beedrill is a cool design. I have used Beedrill. I never did good with Beedrill. I always did better with Butterfree. However, facing a Beedrill was hard sometimes. It was obnoxious. Especially with that, you know, the Twin Needle and all that, the constant spam multi-attacks. I will put Beedrill because usefulness, again, bug I didn't do, the early bug Pokemon. It's higher than... I like its design more than Ivysaur. But is it more useful? So it's like design-wise it's better than Ivysaur. But usefulness it's not. But I'm still gonna put it higher than Ivysaur. Not Ivysaur, Venusaur. I'm gonna switch my names up today. Alright. Next up we got Pidgey. I did use Pidgey. A lot of the birds, I did keep them in my team because, well, again, fly is useful. It's always good to have a flying type on your team too. Speed, birds always did the speed for me. So Pidgey's cute. Look-wise, it's not much to look at for me, but useful. It was a good starting bird Pokemon. I did use it on my team. I kept it all the way up to Pidgeot. So I would say Pidgey's up here in C tier. Definitely. It's average, but it's good. It's a good start. Then we got Pidgeotto. We're suddenly getting the hair down. The style. We're getting cooler. Again, I used it on my team. It stayed on my team. I went through the league with Pidgeot. I always do that, seems, through every gen I go through. I get like one of the bird starters and it stays. And in like Gen 2 it was Xatu for me. But in Gen 1 it was the Pidgeot line. However, Pidgeotto is nicer in appearance to me. Design-wise, I like it better. So, we're going B tier. Where would I put you in B tier? I don't think I would put you above any of these. Well, maybe... Actually, hold on. I need to redo this. I like Charmeleon better than that. Let's do these. Yeah, like that. There we go. Fix that. Next up, Pidgeot. I like Pidgeot's design a lot. This was super cool. It's basically the same as Pidgeot, just longer hair. But the size of that thing too, if you've seen the anime, you knew how massive this bird was. I like Pidgeot. Pidgeot was solid. You had the wing attack, you had fly, you had brave bird. A lot of things you could teach it that was very helpful. And the speed was very good. So I could usually always go first, knock out if I need to, or at least do a good amount of damage. Pidgeot gets an A. Not cooler than Blastoise though. Well, Blastoise keeps that spot. And next we have Rattata. The grass Zubat to me, because you never always run into them and they were obnoxious. I used Rattata and Raticate a little bit, but I would always replace them at some point. Though Raticate could be pretty dang strong if you knew what to do with them. But Rattata, it's gonna be an F for me. Just wasn't, well, is it, what did I say it's used? Early on it was kind of helpful, so maybe not an F, maybe an E. Design wise, yeah, it goes there. I liked its not Evo, but its form in Alola. I like the dark Rattata. The mustache. Oop. Get this. And then we have Raticate. I don't know why the picture's tinier. And before she puts the whole Gengar line in S tier. Maybe, maybe not. You're gonna be surprised. For Sphera, I put Charizard in D. I have weird opinions. I'm going off what was useful to me, in my opinion, and how I play, which is probably not very pro or competitive. But, yeah, and design. Raticate. The big teeth. Porygon is S tier. Porygon's cool looking, but we'll see when we get there. I don't know if I'll put it S. We'll see, I guess. The one on my shoulder is the one you can guarantee is probably going to be S tier. Raticate. Design-wise, I didn't really like this design. I like the Alolan form, the Chonker. I didn't use it much. The bite attacks did really do good damage, though. Those Hyper Fang, ow. I would rank it above Rattata. I would put this in D tier. But not my biggest fan. Hyper Fang and Super Fang was owie. It was massive owie. That's why it's not E or F. It just, I didn't really use it. It was, yeah, no, I have died to Eradicate early on before because of those stupid bite attacks. That's why they're dangerous in Nuzlocke runs, man. I want to do a Nuzlocke once I can get my, oh, thank you for the sub, Dr. Nevermore, per Ursaluna and Dreadnought and S rank right now. I'll keep that in mind when I get to the gens they're in. This is Gen 1 right now. I'm gonna be doing all the gens. I'm going in order. I like Ursaluna though. Dreadnought's cool. I don't know what I'm gonna rank all them yet. I've been just trying to focus on like the Gen 1 and it's like, alright, which one was it again? Because it's like growing up with this and trying to remember what's from where. I'm like, I hope I remember all the names, even though I always actively follow Pokemon. I'm like, I'm gonna forget one of the names. It's like, oh yeah, that thing is a Pokemon, isn't it? I just never use it. Alright, we're going on to the Spearow line. I liked Spearow, and I always told myself I wanted to use Fearow at some point instead of Pidgeot. But it's just, I ran into Pidgeys more often, and I was lazy, so I always just ended up using the Pidgey line. Mad skill issue. Burb. Fearow the goat. I like Fearow though. Those drill packs hurt. They hurt. They hurt a lot. I actually like Spearow's design more than Pidgey's as well. So with that being said, and usefulness, basically about the same. It's higher than Pidgey. It's C, but it's higher than Pidgey. Fearow, however, and as you see, Dr. Nevermore, my taste is funny. I put Charizard in T. I don't care for Charizard much. Except, like, the one Mega is kind of cool looking. Fearow, again, I really like the drill. It's strong. It's a good bird. Especially in Gen 1. I actually think it could be stronger than Pidgeot, honestly. It's just, I always had my comfort team and I would always never really stray from it, and I wish I would stop doing that. I always tell myself every Pokemon game, do a new team, use Pokemon you never use. Then I'm like, oh, but this one do the numbers, I'm gonna stick to it. What happened? Eventually, you know what, I'm just gonna have to turn that thing off because it's not helping. You know that's on the lowest setting too? I put it on like don't filter this. Why is that? I don't understand. It didn't even ask me if I can allow your message. That's just weird. I have to see if I can get words allowed. I have to learn how to do that better. But yeah, I only put it on the lowest. But Fearow, I'd say Fearow is an A. I like Fearow. I'll put it up with Pidgeot. I might like Pidgeot's design just a smidge more, but I think it deserves to be up there. Charizard E tier mid. Yeah, I put it in D. I don't think it's quite an E for me, but because I did find it useful and I have used it. But yeah. Next up, we have the Arbok line. We have Ekans, or snake backwards. How long did it take me to realize that was the case with the name? Longer than I like to admit. Same with Arbok being Cobra backwards. But I like Arbok. Ekans was kind of I didn't really use them. I just see this and think it's just the wrap attack and that is it. For me, Ekans is probably an E tier. It's a snake, but Arbok is cool. Yeah, Arbok's gonna get higher. But it's cooler than these. It's cooler than those two though. Arbok. I love this design. I didn't use it much, sadly. Again, I had my comfort team. Arbok, though, is going to get a higher rating just because look alone. And I can imagine it can be useful. Poison was annoying in Gen 1 because, you know, you walked around with that. If you were poison, you were taking that damage over time as you moved. You didn't get the free pass like in later gens where it doesn't do anything. No, you held your breath and clenched your butt as you went to a Pokemon Center hoping your Pokemon wasn't knocked out before you could get there. I like how a rattlesnake turns into a cobra kloof. I didn't even think of that. That is... Oh gosh, now you point that out. That is true. Interesting. But no. Arbok's cool. I hear an ad. Hold up, I gotta skip it. Blah, blah, blah. I'm playing off YouTube because I don't know how to get music on here without that. And also ad blocker issues they've added is annoying. Alright. It's gone. Alright. No, none of their ads on my channel. I'm not sponsored by them, so nope. Alright. I give Arbok an A. I like Arbok's design. Well, useful wise, I didn't use it much, so I don't know if I should give it that pass just for design alone. I'll do B. I'll do high B. Just because of that. Next, we got the mascot that was stolen from Clefairy. We got Pikachu. Pikachu's cute. Even though it's the mascot, I was not... It's meh. F tier? I wouldn't put Pikachu F. Not for me, personally. Because I have used Pikachu a few times. Because I like Raichu, look-wise. But, again, it wasn't the fastest, like, electric type that I like to use. That one's coming up later. But Pikachu's cute. And just the honor of it being Raichu is better. Yeah, I agree Raichu's better. I like Raichu design-wise. I will say... I like Pikachu more than Charizard, so it's going to be in the C tier. I like it a little more than Pidgey's design, but yeah. C. It's mid. It's just mid. Raichu. Raichu's gonna be higher. I like Raichu because Raichu's adorable. Especially when you get the Alolan Surfing Raichu. Again, I didn't get to use it much. I did a little bit. Like, I hunted hard for a Thunderstorm to try to stone to have it in my team. But it got replaced very quickly because I just had one that was better. That served how I play. But Raichu is adorable. I love Raichu's design. Raichu is going to be in B tier. I would say design-wise, about here. I like Charmeleon a bit more. I don't like Charizard, but I like Charmeleon's look. I don't know what it is. I just like Charmeleon far more than Charmander and Charizard. Next we have Sandshrew. I love the Sandshrew line. I absolutely adore Sandshrew and Sandslash. The ground types, I didn't use them much, but I love them. And they are useful. Especially with the speed. Actually, no, I think I did use Sandslash before. You get that dig off, you could be super obnoxious. But yeah, no, I love the Sandshrew line very, very much. Sandshrew is going to get a B. Sandshrew is higher than these. I love Sandshrew. Some of these will be faster than others with talking about them, and some of them will be slower depending on my, like, if I use them and stuff. Sandslash also gets a high tier. Again, I love this design. It's cool. And dig. And it's so speedy. And that's what I like in a team. a good fast team. I just go in, do what I do, knock them out, done, and move on. Do one of these for Pokemon Utopia. I've not played it. I need to play it first. This gets A. I like Sandslash. Design-wise, I do like it a bit better than Fearow, I will say. I have to catch up on trying like those games. The only like ROM hack I've played, what was it? Was like I played the fusions, and I think I played one other, but I didn't finish it. Was the one where it's like irradiated ones? Yeah, I need to code more. But yeah, I also never know where to look to for them. Next we have the Nidoran, one of the Nidoran lines, the Nidoran female. Is it weird these ones always annoyed me? And it's not like they look bad, I just didn't care for them much, like, because they were like obnoxious to run into all the time. It's like Rattata to me. It's the Zubats of the wild. I did use Nidoqueen a lot, I will say that. I did like Nidoqueen. Nidoking was cool too, look-wise, but I used Nidoqueen. Was it Nidoqueen that can learn Surf and stuff like that? It was just wild, the moves they could learn, and I used them for that purpose. I remember using them in Pokemon Stadium as well. Nidoran, though, I don't think it deserves an E. I'm gonna put it in a D. Now we want to a Nidorina. Again, it was a bit stronger than Nidoran, but I don't like this design. I don't, It's freaky looking to me. Little useful, but like, I'm gonna put it, it's also in D, but behind Nidoran. Nidoqueen, however, I do like using Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen's kind of cool looking. I'm going to give Nidoqueen a B. I don't like it better than Squirtle though. I'll put it there. Yeah, that's good. Like I said, my rankings are gonna be very weird. Now we have Nidoran male, which I like look-wise more than Nidoran female. It's cute. This I find cute. This look brings joy. The other did not. Little tooth on it, it's cuter. I don't know, it's just something about this one I liked a little more. No, it's not because it's purple. Like a pinky purple. I just liked it a smidge more than Nidoran female. So you know what? I'm gonna give this one a C. Then we have Nidorino, which also way above Nidorina, which I don't like it. I like Nidorino's design. I remember using this one as well a bit. I tried to do a team of both of them on, so I will put this also in C. It's just above those. There's a perfect lineup for that. And then we have Nidoking. Nidoking is not as high as Nidoqueen for me, unfortunately. This is where the line being better is not. I liked Nidoqueen better. So this one's still C. It's just they're okay Pokemon. I didn't really care to use them much, but L, nah. Not for me. Not my the one I use. Then I got Clefairy. Before it was a fairy type, I think this was just normal at the moment. He is purple, but purple doesn't mean a pass. I mean, do you see Rattata and Ekans? I mean, Arbok got a pass, but I mean, that's different. Arbok's cooler. I didn't really care for the normal typing too much in the first gen. Now that they're fairy, but I can't look at them that way because there wasn't a fairy type. I didn't really care for Clefairy. I think my only time I really liked using Clefairy is one of my favorite things to do in Pokemon Stadium or in Pokemon games in general was to make a troll team where that knew only Metronome and just like do battles of Metronome versus Metronome and see what wild crud happens. that was fun to me. I like metronome battles. It's like, oh, your Pokemon did splash. What, the other one brought out the one-hit KO? Great. I love metronome fights so much. They're my favorite things to do. But Clefairy, look-wise even is not my thing. I know everyone's saying, what is this, like, the pink Gengar? This is what Gengar was before it was a ghost. In that Gengar's like the shadow of Clefairy or something like that? Isn't that like the big speculation theory? I don't know if that was ever proven. But D. I didn't care for it. The only thing good about the Clefairy line was they were tanky. It's like Chansey. Chansey was so tanky. Those things were annoying to take down. Speaking of, there's Clefable. I don't like the design more than Clefairy. It just, I don't know, there's something creepy and unsettling about this Pokemon to me. Just, no. No. It's just, E. I don't like it. It's just, it's not an F though, because it's just, no. There's usefulness there. Alright. Finger pointies. It's time for the biased one. I wonder where this one's gonna go. Yeah, metronome. I love it so much. I wonder. Huh. It's a fox. My favorite animal is a fox. It's adorable. I should have made an SSS tier for this. Yeah, come on. I always bring it on my team. I'm gonna be honest. It's not the best fire type by far, but I have to have it on my team. It was my very first favorite Pokemon when I was little, and it'll always be my favorite. It's my OG favorite. It stays my favorite. The latest versions are actually pretty good. Yeah, that's true. Lowland versions are good, and also they can learn like fairy moves and stuff, which is really nice. But I had other fire types along with it, but in the fact that it knew, I think it could know some psychic moves, which was nice. Former competitives and people who milk tiers like that are no fun. Oh, former competitive speaking. I never got to dupe it. I tried my hand at some stuff like Ivy stuff. It gave me a headache, so I don't do it very much. I think the closest thing to competitive I came to was the recent games, because of the raids with like the 7 stars and stuff. You kind of need a strong maxed Pokemon to have a chance to not like be the reason why everyone gets taken out of the raid. So I went out of my way to get the bottle caps and all that stuff for Tinkaton and maxed out my Tinkaton, because Tinkaton's my newest favorite Pokemon. I love Tinkaton. Oh my gosh, Tinkaton's great. But yeah, Vulpix Auto S tier. Same with Ninetales. Also, Ninetales is just a really cool design. I love this Pokemon. It's so elegant, it's pretty. It's not bad on the team. I did use it in Stadium more than I guess Gen 1. Who did I use more in Gen 1 fire-wise? No! Actually, I did use Ninetales in Gen 1, yeah. Thinking more in the others is when I started replacing it with some different ones. But no, Gen 1 I used Ninetales more. So yeah. S tier. Next up we have Jigglypuff. I'm scared to give this one low ranking because I know if I do, it's gonna come draw on my face. The vindictive little Pokemon. You best appreciate the singing and not fall asleep. It is just spherical. It is round. And what more to say? It's cute. I do like it more than Clefairy. Design-wise. Sing was obnoxious to deal with. Again, I didn't like using those skills, but I would sometimes if it was like a legendary, especially because like in Gen 2 you had to with the dogs. But again, this is Gen 1. It's definitely better than Clefairy. I still would put it in D though. Design-wise, I'll put it there. It's above them, definitely. Alright, next we got Wigglytuff. Same thing, it's cute. It's like a marshmallow. I don't know why I think it's like a marshmallow, but it is. Again, this is back, there was no fairy type, so there was just normal typing. All of these like big pink things were tanky. The double slaps and all. I didn't like it as much as Jigglypuff, but it's here. It's better than them. That's all I'll say. Next up we have Zubat. Everyone get your repels. I don't hate Zubat. Yes, it's obnoxious to deal with in the caves, but I didn't hate Zubat. Golbat wasn't bad, but we'll get to that when we get to that. I've used Zubat, and then in, of course, Gen 2, you know, you got Crobat, which was really nice. Where would I put? I hate Zubat. Fast, hard to escape from if you were slow, and love to spam supersonic. I actually grew to really like Zubat. I don't think Zubat's too terrible, and the fact I think Zubat could learn Wing Attack, right? It was able to learn it before it was Golbat, if I remember right. I wouldn't give it F. I don't even think I'd give it E. But I don't think it's above some of these in the D tier. I would put it here. I think that's fair. Now we got Golbat. I like Zubat's design a little more than Golbat, but Golbat was useful. I did use Golbat quite often. The bites were great for going against, you know, ghosties and psychic types. Well, more so psychic. Ghost didn't really have... The dark wasn't a thing back then. So I don't think bite was effective back then. The psychic and ghost was weird to fight against in Gen 1 because, like, having the types you needed, you could, but it was weird to do. I think ghost mostly didn't have many weaknesses. Psychic was my go-to favorite, like, typing to use, though. Still kind of is. I would put this one higher, though. I would put this in C tier. It's better than Nidoking, that's for sure, look-wise. Ghost was meant to be weak to Psychic, but it was glitched. I thought so, because, like, I felt like sometimes I would go and it's like, oh, it's a Ghost type, use Psychic attacks on it, but... Okay. Next up, we have the odd one. A lot of unfinished stuff in Gen 1. Yeah, it was interesting. I felt that's probably why, like, Gen 1 sometimes felt harder than other gens, not just being because it was the first one. I dreaded going in caves in Gen 1 in case I got lost. The caves in the past were annoying to navigate for me. I had to have a guide open at all times. Or hope I had some escape ropes. Okay. Oddish. I always told myself I was going to use this line and I never did. Again, me with the grass typing, I was weird with it. I always found something that could learn grass moves and wasn't a grass type, or I found like one specific and that was the one I used. And this wasn't it. Look-wise, it's cute. But I didn't use it really much. Design, it's I'd say this one's E. It's there. Then we have Gloom. More design-wise, I don't like this even less. I like this even less than Oddish look-wise, but usefulness, it was basically your like spore, poison powder, sleep powder kind of like move rat, I would say. Your TM kind of like the example of a TM or HM like carrier. That was all they were good for. This was like with all the powders, just to give status effects. I guess like Leech Seed and Absorb and all that stuff, but I didn't really use it much. I don't like it more than Oddish, so I'm putting it in E. Then we have Vileplume. The reason why I wanted to try and get this whole line, I like Vileplume. I like Petal Dance. I like the design. I did try to, like I said, do it, but couldn't quite get there. I do like Erica and the fact she had all these. I liked her design. That's also why I wanted to try it out, but never did. But yeah, Vileplume's a lot cooler. Usefulness is better. I actually will put Vileplume in C. Then we have the Paris line. I didn't like Paris. This is another Zubat in terms of popping up everywhere. You go into that forest and it's just Paris. It's Paris. It's Paris again. Even the Safari Zone I ran into them a lot. It was really annoying. I didn't really like using Paris either. I'm gonna be honest. This one's going in F for me. But it's way better than these two. It's high F. And then of course there's Parasect. Parasect's a weird one because I have used it and it's been good. Parasect can be kind of nice to have on a team early on. I don't know about late game because I never had it in late game. Like, you can use, was it false swipes with it, which is nice for capturing things. It could take some hits. We go and shop soon, be back later, Thanksgiving shopping. Enjoy, Kier! Thank you for stopping by. I'm just gonna say E though. I do like it more than Gloom though, ugh. Again, not my thing. I was not a bug type person. Some of the bugs are cool, but like, it was more later gens I liked bug types more. Speaking of, we're now in Venonat. Venonat is cute, because, you know, I'm a sucker for the fluff ball. One of my favorite Pokemon, which isn't in this gen, is Woobat. I love Woobat. I just like it for the fluffiness. But I didn't use Venonat much, again. So it's gonna have to go into the D. I liked it better than these two, yeah. Then we have Venomoth. I always used Butterfree more. Venomoth was just like the other Butterfree to me, except not as good in my opinion. Look-wise, it was okay. Not really my thing. So I would say it's a little better than, no, look-wise it's not better than Venonat. It's better than, no, here. Yeah, that'll do. Alright, we got one I've used. Here's one of my team. Diglett and Dugtrio. Again, I'm a sucker for speedy Pokemon. And again, just like with Weedle, how many used to think the nose was a mouth, or is it a mouth? And that was a tooth. That's what people saw, and I could see it both ways, and it bothers me. But yeah, Diglett's cute. Diglett was fast, and Diglett was good. Diglett gets about a B tier for me. I wouldn't put it higher than Squirtle look-wise, but it's in B. B for Boop the Snoop, exactly. And then we got, and also can we say in Alola, this one right here gets some glorious hair. Becomes the Fabio Pokemon. We got Dugtrio. I loved using Dugtrio. This thing would always go fast. It would always strike hard. You get the magnitude, you get the dig, you get the earthquake. Love Dugtrio. This is A tier. This is easily A for me. This was a good team Pokemon. Nah, right there is good. Next up we have Meowth. That's right, yep. I like the design. Meowth I didn't use very much. I liked, well, no. That's right, I did. In Pokemon Stadium, I used it more. Slash in the day did a lot of damage. I don't know what it was about Slash, but that thing, if it crit, oof, you could take things out with Slash. I feel like they nerfed Slash in the newer gens. It was like up there with like the Fang attacks in my opinion. I love Meowth's design. Meowth is adorable. And just because that fact alone, how much I like Meowth, Meowth gets an A tier. Meowth gets to be up here. I do like Meowth a lot. I also enjoy Persian. You got Giovanni's cat here. Persian's such a pretty design of a Pokemon. That in Alola, it became a chonker. But I liked Persian. Again, I had this thing on my team. I did use this more in Stadium than the Gen 1 game, but I did like it on my team. It was quick as well. Could get in good attacks. Having a normal type was nice sometimes when you didn't really have anything that you could send out, or you had things that were weak to whatever it was. A normal was a nice thing to have. It was the one few normal typing I liked. I actually would give Persian an S tier. I like using Persian. Next up we have the Pokemon that resonates with my soul. This is me as a Pokemon. I get chronic headaches. I am Psyduck. I love Psyduck. Psyduck, derpy little thing with terrifying powers in the anime. You give that thing a headache and yeah, everything is going to fly. But it was funny because like my friend was talking to me about Psyduck and Golduck yesterday and it's like, it knows all these moves, but it's only pure water. There's no psychic typing in it. And I don't think it is, and still, like even nowadays, it's just pure water. You would think it'd be part psychic type, but it is not. But I love Psyduck. And this is probably gonna be a hot take for me, but I like Psyduck. It's S tier. It's just me as a Pokemon, it gets S tier. I also like Golduck. Golduck's design is one of my favorites. Golduck is also probably going to be an S tier for me. I liked using Golduck. It didn't stay on my team long because speed-wise it wasn't quite up there where I wanted it to be. Also because I had Blastoise most of the time, and that was my water type. I didn't like to have too many of the same typing if I could help it. But Golduck is such a cool design. So yeah, I like Psyduck's design a little more so. Next up we have Mankey. Mankey was good and Primeape was good. I know a lot of people like them. I like their design. I used Primeape a lot for my fighter because Primeape was speedy. But I think I ended up replacing Primeape a lot because the one downside with speedy Pokemon was they were also extremely squishy. They were glass cannons. So I usually, even though they weren't quite as fast, I would usually use like Hitmonchan. I never really used Hitmonlee, but I liked Hitmonchan just because with the punches I could have Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, so I could bring my elements with me as well. But Mankey is cute. Didn't use it super much, but I give Mankey a B. I would put it around, yeah, here. You remember your Mankey in yellow version? Did it have a nickname? Gotta know those cute nicknames. Next up we got Primeape. As I said, the speed was great, the damage was nice. However, the squishiness, I didn't use Primeape as much as I would have liked. Its evolution, well, not evolution, I should say. No, it is an evolution, isn't it? Yeah, because you have to do something with it in Violet and Scarlet to evolve it into the ghost type. I like its evolution, it's cool. I do like that a lot. Make it super angry. I would say also, no, actually I think I'd give this one more an A. I think Primeape A. Next up we have Growlithe. I like the Growlithe and Arcanine, but as you know, Vulpix and Ninetales were my go-tos, so I didn't use them as much because I would always just want Vulpix and Ninetales. And it was basically just the other Vulpix and Ninetales in my opinion of the game, with the two evolutions and both being fire dogs. It was also like that with Houndour and Houndoom too, but I love Houndour. Houndoom's in here, it would be S tier, but we'll get to that next week. I'm jumping ahead to Gen 2. I like Growlithe though. The original legendary. That wasn't Arcanine's picture in the very first episode of him looking at those like images. Yeah, I remember that. And then like the very first thing you see that Pokemon in the sky too, and was like Ho-Oh very early on before Gen 2 even came out. And for some reason I remember in school the speculation my friends had. Yeah, the very first episode, my friends used to think the name of that Pokemon was like Spectrum or something, trying to give it like a rainbow theme name. I don't know why they thought that, but that was it. And the reason being was the two regions were to be together. Yeah. And then we got Gen 2 and we could go to both, which was nice. Again, you know what I really want is an Orange Island game. We had a lot cut in Gen 1. Yeah, I want an Orange Islands game. I like the Orange Island series. I feel like that should have been in the game. It would be neat. Like, they could have easily put it in with, like, I mean, you're going between Kanto and Johto. You might as well swim to the other and bring in the Orange Islands. I would love that so much. And then people complain there's too much water in the one gen. Just wait until the Orange Island League. It's just all islands. But yeah, Growlithe's cute. Growlithe should be I'm gonna give Growlithe B. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely not a low tier. It's a good Pokemon. It's cool looking. It's cute. Officer Jenny likes them. So I'd say B. Only because I don't, it's not quite an A because I didn't really use it that much. It's definitely, I'd say here. Next up we have the legendary Arcanine, as you said. Arcanine's cool. I like it. I like its is it the Galarian form? I like that. The Galarian Growlithe as well is really cute. But again, we're not doing that one right now. Again, I use Ninetales more. Arcanine's cool and all. I will give Arcanine an A though. And I think I will put it about here. Here's a line I used a lot. We got the Poliwag line. I did use them. I like Poliwrath. Again, it wasn't super speedy, but I did like using Poliwrath a lot. I liked that it knew fighting moves. It felt good to use. So Poliwag, we have the first one, is cute. It wasn't like super amazing or anything, but it is cute. It was nice. You got the bubble. I'll give it a fair C. I would say I would put it. I actually do like Poliwag. I'll put it there. Then we have Poliwhirl. Wasn't this the one that... No, that was like Jigglypuff. I remember this in the Who's That Pokemon episode that Team Rocket had to take the test. They had Poliwhirl and stuff as well. I think you only saw the belly or something like that. Or was it like Poliwrath? They got confused between the two because of the belly. I just remembered that. Poliwhirl was good, solid. I used Poliwhirl for quite a while because I had to get, I think you needed Water Stone to evolve it. So I would put it a bit above Poliwag. I would put this in B tier. Put it here. And then, of course, like I said, Poliwrath. I give Poliwrath an A tier. Used Poliwrath a lot. Really liked Poliwrath. I think it's kind of cool. It's not like the top design, but useful. I'll put it. I think it's right here. I think that's fair. Next up, we're going to have some more bias from me. Here's one of my favorite lines in Gen 1. The Abra line. I loved, and I still love, I love psychic types. And I always had an Alakazam. I have Alakazam on my team in a lot of gens. One of my favorite Pokemon to use. Glass Cannon, that it is. I love the Alakazam line. Abra. Love it, hated catching it. The teleportation irritated me. That thing, it's like you either got it on the first Pokeball or it's gone. Or you knocked it out on accident or something. Whatever it was hard to catch. If you could get it to fall asleep and stuff, it was helpful. Which I didn't do because, me being me, I don't want those moves. I only want attack moves. False Swipe did kind of help, but it was rough to catch. But I loved Abra. Abra, and the whole line is going to be S probably. I say probably. I know it is. Kadabra. I like the design. Got the mustache. Got the spoon. It blasted mostly every Pokemon away just using, Psybeam. Psychic was stupid strong in Gen 1. It was broken. And Stadium just had like a full team of Alakazam, and I just win because speed alone and spam Psychic. So again, S tier. Design wise, this one gets to be moved up a bit because I like Kadabra. Alakazam, also S. Oh, trivia? Hit me, I'm ready for it. I love Alakazam. Also, Alakazam was one of the first Pokemon I've ever seen. Oh, really? That's interesting. I liked Alakazam also because Sabrina is my favorite gym leader from Gen 1. I love the Sabrina episodes. So I'm a sucker for the psychic types, like I said. Alakazam's up here too. I like Kadabra's design a little more, so right there. It was me watching a game from someone playing blue version at a wooden car derby when I was in Cub Scout. Oh, that's neat. And the person was using an Alakazam. That's a good Pokemon choice. They knew what's up. My first... Man, I'm gonna date myself here. My first time seeing Pokemon was in elementary school. It was it Kids WB. First time watching it, loved it, and we learned about Pokemon cards, and it was a local store that would sell them. I played that, so I feel it's good. We're good. I don't know if I'm as old as it, but I played it, so that much. I'm also crunchy. I played SNES at my cousin's. I remember them. Played the Aladdin game on that, and the old Lion King game. Sonic and the old Sega. Oh gosh. I am going to have to do something with Streamlabs. Like I said, I have that on the lowest moderation possible, and it still does it. I'm going to just have to do without it. I'm going to allow this. There. I allowed it. That is so weird. And I've had people use it before and it allowed it. I swear it's simple. Do it. Please bonk them, because it's not consistent either. I've had streams with people say everything just fine, and then some streams, it's like, nah, we're gonna time out everything. Ugh. I might just have to turn it off and just, manually do things myself. At this point, it's just better. But yeah. What was it saying? But yeah, no, I played all those games, yeah. What is next? I was saying, my first thing was elementary school, and then I remember my dad would go to the store, and then when he picked me up from school, because I didn't take bus, he would hide it in the passenger seat overhead mirror. He would hide the pack up there and be like, hey, look at the mirror, and I'd pull it down and the pack would fall into my lap, and I would get so excited. I would trade cards in school with my friends, and I remember it's like, okay, remember, if you want a rare card, you gotta do rare for rare, or you gotta give me 2 uncommons, but I gotta make sure I got a duplicate first, and holo for holo, or 2 rares for a holo. We had a whole system of how we did it. It was fun. I had a whole binder and stuff. I am mad at myself though, because now it's so big to have the old cards. Man, I had the holographic Charizard, and it's I sold it way long ago when it Pokemon kind of lost some popularity, and now it's God dang, I wish I had held on to that. I had the holographic Charizard. I had most of the cards. I had like the ancient Mew from the movie, from the very first movie when you went to the movie theater. I had that holo. I had some promo cards. I miss it. But I got some cards. I still have a lot of the original base set, not base set 2, but the original set. I have some fossil cards still. And I still have some jungle cards. So yeah, I have still like over 1,000 some cards, not gonna lie. I actually recently opened a pack in one of the newer packs, and I pulled a Charizard. It was a EX Charizard. I don't remember the pack name, but I need to get that thing like looked at. But there's not like any card places to go to here, and I want to go and authenticate it because that thing, yeah, it's a Charizard. That's all I need to say. When it comes to those cards, they're insane. Alright. Next up, we have the Machop line. Again, this is another line I always told myself I want to use because I liked Machamp and it always seemed cool to use, and I just never really stuck to it. But I did use the Machoke for a long time. I think it's because, you had to trade to evolve some of these, and it just became kind of a pain because I didn't really have friends when I was younger that played. So I didn't really have people to trade with. I didn't have the on top, I didn't have the cord to link in to do the trades. I didn't have link cables. It was a sad time for me. I had one game and I couldn't trade. So Machop for me, I'd give it a B. I did kind of use them. I actually managed to use a Machop to Machamp in Soul Silver. Ooh, I wanna play this Soul Silver or Heart Gold. Like I said, Gen 2 is my favorite, but I've only played the original Gold. I want to see the differences. Like, I've seen like some gameplay and like they showed that one character, like the different characters, and I'm like, who's that? I don't remember them looking like that. Like your rival and stuff, and like having that in-depth story or whatever with Giovanni, I guess, or something. I'm like, I don't remember any of this. Very much love them. The reason I like multi-armed characters. Oh, that's cool. It's always neat to hear what Pokemon like appeal to people. It's like you see one and you think, I doubt anyone's gonna like it, but no, someone out there does. Someone's favorite Pokemon is that one. And we got the Machamp. We got the belt. You got the muscular arms. You got the people that always want to be carried by these Pokemon, especially in the newer gens. You get the NPCs that get carried by them. Wasn't there one NPC that's like, I cuddle with mine in bed and I'm just sitting there like, There's some interesting NPCs in the newer games, I'm gonna just say that. But yeah, Machoke gets I'd still say it's a steady B, but it's a little higher. Put it here. And then we got the Machamp. Also cool Pokemon. Like I said, I wish I had used them more. I think again, it's a lot. The way you evolve some put me off of actually doing the work. I'd get lazy sometimes because I was so in tune to the story. I want to get to the next part. But yeah, I'd say also B because I didn't really use it much. Put it here. Next up, we have Pokemon number 69. Nice. Bellsprout. Also remembered Markiplier doing Smash or Pass with this one and having to think about it. Bellsprout. I did use Victory Bell a lot. I do remember using Victory Bell because Victory Bell was pretty fast for a grass type. Bellsprout I did use as well for one of the starter ones, so look-wise it wasn't all that much to look at, but I will throw this one in a C tier because I did use it. Yeah. And then we have a Weeping Bell. The mouth gets more creepy each time. Same thing, I used these a lot. They were very helpful. I think I had one by the time I went against Misty, so these were great. I'll still put it in C though, because I'm not fond of that design. And then we got a Victory Bell. Again, very good. I liked Victory Bell. Used it a lot. I will put this more in... Well, I put it in A, though. I did use it on my team. I've been putting my team Pokemon up there. So you know what? I will put it in A. Next up, we have the Tentacle line. The Zubat of the ocean. I'm going to point out all the Zubats of the place. Because this is it. You go surfing once and this is all you find. Or you fish and it's always either Magikarp or this thing. Tentacle wasn't too bad. I used Tentacruel before, but wasn't fond of them. Look-wise too, I don't really care for them that much. I remember the giant Tentacruel in the anime though. That was an interesting episode. But this one, this gets... I've used it more, so I don't think I should give it a D, though I have used Charizard. I'm gonna give it a D. I don't really care for the Tentacruel Ryan that much, I'm gonna be honest. Same with Tentacruel. It's a little more useful, well, not a little more, a lot more useful than Tentacool, but... And didn't care for it super much. Put it in D as well. Next up we have the Geodude line. I have used the Geodude line a lot. I do like Golem, and I like Graveler. But I never kept them. I would use them, but I wouldn't keep them. I wasn't fond of the self-destruct tactics, so some of those were quite funny. Especially if, like, you knocked out yourself and the other, but still won, even though that was, like, your last Pokemon. It was always funny. The way those worked. But they're not my favorite by a long shot. I'm going to give Geodude D. However, Graveler will get a better one. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this line in. Graveler's going to get a C. And Golem's going to get a higher C. I do like Golem. Next up we have... did I put... No, I just didn't go through it. Ponyta and Rapidash. Now, here's where I said, like, I used Vulpix and Ninetales, but sometimes I'd switch up. This was what I switch up with. It's because their speed fit with what I wanted my team to have. I liked how fast Rapidash was. Getting those stomps off was really great. But sometimes I would prefer Ninetales, so it would be between these two I'd usually use in Gen 1. Ponyta's cute. I like the new version though that you can get in Sword and Shield, the Galarian Ponyta. I love that. It's like cotton candy Ponyta, but Ponyta gets a good rating. I'm gonna put Ponyta in B. It's up there with Growlithe and Charmeleon. And then Rapidash. This was the one I used on my team a lot. Ponyta would be up and like on and off, but Rapidash used more. The only thing though was just how late it evolved. That it was a pain. That's why I would use Ninetales more. But this is an A tier. I use them a lot. This design wise would be more over here. Next up we have a Slowpoke. I love Slowpoke. I didn't use them much, but I do love Slowpoke. Look at them, their friend. Look at them eyes. It is friend, and I love my derpy Pokemon. I mean, Psyduck's an S tier for a reason. This is not S tier, but I do love Slowpoke. Psychic types are good. It can be tanky. It had the water. I don't think it was dual type though, because again, Gen 1 I don't think really had dual typings. At least I don't remember it having dual typings. I think it was pure water but had psychic, but later on became psychic, or was it pure psychic and later on took on water? I'm not 100% sure. But Slowpoke is friend. Slowpoke gets B. Slowpoke go here. And then we got Bro, Slowbro. I wish that you evolved it the same way like in the anime, had to do something with that, but I think they did that later on. I'm not 100% sure on that. Again, it was very tanky. It is friend-sized. I have not much super to say about Slowbro, but it is also in the B tier. I like Slowpoke a bit more though. So I would say Slowbro goes about here. Next up we have Magnemite. I did use Magnemite. Magneton is one of the electric types I used a lot. I like Magneton. Magnemite's really good too. This was before the steel typing, so I'm pretty sure it was pure electric, which is fun because that means it took damage from stuff it would normally now. But yeah, I like Magnemite. I used Magnemite. I would give Magnemite B. I like Magnemite's design too, it's cool. Put Magnemite up here next to Raichu. Magneton, again, solid, had it on my team quite often. I would definitely give Magneton, I should say, A tier. And also it's just a really cool design. Design-wise, I will put it here. Next up we have Farfetch'd. I liked Farfetch'd's look, but I never used Farfetch. It was just kind of there. Never used it. Couldn't find it very often. It was hard to find. But it's cute. I like Surfetch'd a lot. But, again, I don't have really much experience using Farfetch'd on a team. I will give it B, though, just because I like its design. It was just silly. I will put Farfetch'd here. Next up we have Doduo. I did use this. This is the other flying type I used. Doduo and Dodrio. Because, again, we got fast. They were insanely fast. They could use Tri-Attack. They had the Drill Pecks. I think they could learn, like, Scratch and stuff. They were really good. Were they flying? I think they were flying or they were normal. I think it was flying though. I don't remember. They're like normal flying now. But yeah, I like them. Good on the team. I would put... Look-wise though, I'm only gonna... No, I want to do... Low B. Wasn't a fan of Doduo, but I like Dodrio. Which we got here. This thing was terrifying in the anime. Terrifying to face as well. And it gets an A tier because it was on my team quite often. Next up we have Seal. I love the design. I wish I used them more just because their design always made me want to use them, but I didn't. I just felt like they weren't good for my team. They just got knocked out so easily when I used them. I probably used them wrong. But I love the Seal line. I will rank them high just because I really like the design. Seal, I'm gonna give a B. And then Dugong, same thing. I love their look. This is one of my favorite. The ice type was nice. I think I used Dugong more than Seal though. Once I evolved it, I did use it more. The ice typing was nice to have at times. Even though I used Poliwrath more and Blastoise. But you know what? Just because I absolutely adore the design, this one is going to get an S. I am giving this one a pass. I really like Dugong. Next up we have Grimer. Getting into the Team Rocket's, more of Team Rocket's Pokemon. I don't care for Grimer. I was funny with poison types. There wasn't many poison types I liked. And Grimer wasn't one I really used. It is slime. That is it. That is Grimer. Cute in the anime though, but Grimer to me gets an E tier. Like a little more than Gloom though. And then Muck. It's the same thing, it's just bigger slime. It's angrier slime. We're not going to talk about the pun with, or joke with Muck's name. Also E. Then we have Shelter. I liked Shelter and Omnistar. Omnistar, Cloyster, not Omnistar. Omnistar's later. Shelter was neat. These were ones I wanted to use and didn't. These are like things you found later in the game, or at least I did. Shelter's cool though. They were solid. They could use ice and water. I will give Shelter a B. Where would I put Shelter though, look-wise? I think it's cool looking, so let's say about there. I like Shelter. What that tongue do? Then we have Cloister. We're also not going to make the jokes in this one. Onyx isn't here. It was pretty good. I hated facing it. It could get obnoxious. It could be somewhat tanky. I didn't use it very much though. But I will give it B just because it is a pretty solid Pokemon. At least I think it was. And then next up we have the Ghastly line. Everyone thinking I'm going to put this in S tier? Well, guess what? You're wrong. Maybe 1, but it's not going to be the one you think. Ghastly. I would always catch it because it's a good I mean, ghost type, it was good. I think it was like, what was the ghost types in this game? Wasn't it one of the only ones? There wasn't many. I don't remember any other ghost type actually. I think it was the only one. I liked Ghastly. I would use it. It was on my team. I have used them before. I've used them on multiple gens. Ghastly wasn't like my favorite. I would put it in C. I do like it more than... I would say it's in front of C. I like it more than most all of those. Here's the one that would be S. I use Haunter more than I have Gengar and Ghastly. Mainly because, again, you had to trade to evolve, so I would sit with this in my party more than anything. But Haunter was pretty legit. Haunter was speedy. I liked Haunter. I actually like how it looks more than Gengar. I think it's cool. I like the floating hands and everything. Haunter gets S. I do like Haunter. Much creepypasta was made from these three. Yeah. Like, we're in Lavender Town and it's of itself. I just realized the music stopped. Oh, it was a lot shorter than I thought it was. Let's see. Do I refresh it or find another? Let's see. Do I find another song? Give me a second. Let me mute the site though as I find. What is Twitch and streamer friendly music? I just might refresh it. Let this ad play 1 second. Gosh darn it. Because I've listened to this one and it's the only one I trust. I don't know what's safe or not. Okay, ads, stop. I only need 1. I don't need 3 or 4. There it is. There you go. More of the Animal Crossing as we do Pokemon game. Alright. Now we got Gengar. Gengar is cool. Gengar is fun to use. The Mega is zany. That mouth. I mean, it is a cool Pokemon. I used it a lot. It's strong. Shadow Ball, all the ghost moves. You can use dark moves. But again, I liked Haunter more. Gengar gets A. It don't get S. But it is cool looking, so it does get a little higher in A. Next up we have Onyx. Who remembers the Crystal Onyx episode that we got? I wanted that thing to be real in the game. Onyx is cool. I have used Onyx before. Onyx is a pain to fight sometimes if you're not ready for it. It can hurt. It was bulky. It was a problem to face in Brock's gym if you weren't ready and started with Charmander, that's for sure. But yeah, Onyx is solid. Solid as a rock. But I'd give it a B. I didn't stick with it. I didn't stick with many rock types. But it's a good Pokemon. Then we have Drowsy. I've used Drowsy and Hypno. They were pretty... I will give it to Hypno. Pretty beefy for a psychic type. It wasn't one that just got instant KO'd all the time. It could take some hits. It's still kind of squishy, but it wasn't bad. I have used them on my team before when I wanted to mix it up instead of just having the Aberline all the time. Thinking of creepy stories. Oh yeah, Hypno with the kids, The dex entries alone are, yeah. Drowsy look-wise, I don't really like though, and just for that, I'm giving it a B. But it is a useful Pokemon. Let's see. I like it a... put it here. Hypno's cool looking though. I do like Hypno. That's the nose though. I have used Hypno, and Hypno is pretty solid. I do like Hypno. The punch attacks it can learn also have been very helpful. I'm going to give Hypno A because it has been a solid teammate. I like its design a bit more than them, so we'll put it there. Then we have Krabby. I have used Krabby and Kingler for the speed for water types before. They're not bad. That Crab Hammer can hurt. They're not my go-to for water, but I will use them. I don't mind using them. They're solid. So I will give Krabby a B. Look-wise, it's a crab. It can go there. Same with Kingler. It's just a crab. It's not very amazing to me, but I do give it an A because it was a solid Pokemon. Nah, Dodrio is better. And again, we have another two that I used on my team a lot because speed. We have Voltorb and then Electrode. Very good lightning Pokemon. I like them a lot. I use them a lot. If I didn't use a Magneton, I used the Voltorb line. So I would give this one an A actually. I would give both of them an A. I like their design a little more than Kingler. But they are just Pokeballs. Let's be real. This one just has like the smug Pokeball and the angry Pokeball. They both get A. I have used them on my team countless times and I like them. Next up we have Execute. Just eggs. I didn't really use them. I didn't like them at all. I don't like their design. The long neck Alolan version though is quite interesting. I think I've used Executor before. It wasn't bad, but I just don't really care for them, to be honest. I know someone out there likes the eggs, but the eggs are F for me. I'm sorry. I just don't like their design at all. Oh, a hive. Sneak peek. Didn't mean to click that. There it is. Alright. Executor, though, I think deserves a bit more than Execute, but it's going in E. I just... even Gloom looks better in my opinion. This is biased, but it is what it is. Next up we got Cubone line. I have used Cubone and Marowak. I love them a lot. They're not my go-to, but they're gonna be up there because, I mean, this is just the cuter Charmander. I love Cubone's line so much. Anyone seen Detective Pikachu movie? The scene with Cubone, it was great. Just the height, seeing how tiny Cubone is compared to the guy, and just him being chased and attacked by the small thing. I love Cubone. Cubone gets high rank because I love Cubone's design. Cubone gonna get A tier. Cubone's design goes high. I love them. Actually, you know, put a high A. Same with Marowak. I think they're cool. The Alolan version is super sick. I love the design so much. It's such a cool Pokemon. And I've used it. It was good. I just didn't keep it very long. It goes in A as well. Next up we have Hitmonlee. For those that don't know, most probably do know, the Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan were named after Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. Hitmonlee is cool. I used Hitmonchan more. Wasn't very fond of the jump kicks because of the, if it missed, you could just take damage kind of thing. I didn't like any moves that had those kind of recoil things. Wasn't fond of them. They did good damage, I just wasn't very fond of the accuracy. Hitmonlee though is a solid Pokemon, but I'm gonna give it a B. Design-wise, it'll go up here. Then we have Hitmonchan. Like I said, I've used Hitmonchan countless times. Like it. You can get all the elemental punches, cover different weaknesses and stuff with that. Love Hitmonchan. Gets an A. Solid teammate. Next up we got Lickitung. I've used Lickitung a little bit. Not my favorite. I used it because it was tanky. It's not my favorite design either. I mean, all the jokes aside, it's a C for me. Lickitung there. It's there. It's there. It can go next to Golbat. They can both have tongues. Then next up we got Coughing. We got the Wheezing line. More Team Rocket Pokemon. I've used Coughing and Wheezing a little bit. Again, I don't care for them. Not my types that I usually use. I don't use many poison. Very few. And it's mostly later gyms that I've used them more. So Coughing and Wheezing, they kind of rank kind of low for me. This is going to get a D. Same with Wheezing. Wheezing's probably going to be low for me. Also D. And then we have Rhyhorn line. This one I like. Rhyhorn and Rhydon are cool. I have used them more. I like them a lot. Though again, rock typing's the other funny one. I don't use as much as I probably should. I guess it's because they're slow. I say I guess. It's mostly because they're slow and it's just not my game style. But I think Rhydon belongs in B because it's cool. I like Rhydon a lot. Or Rhyhorn, I should say. And then there's Rhydon's the other one. I'm getting them backwards. Rhydon's super cool. Rhyperior is amazing, but that's not this gen. Got the Horn Drill, all the strong attacks. I think it could learn Surf if I remember. It was wacky about that. I will give it an A because it is a good Pokemon. And design-wise, it is really, really cool. Then we have Chansey, the EXP farm, as some like to use Chanseys. It is tanky, it is beefy, it is obnoxious to fight. I don't like using it much, but it is a good Pokemon. And for that alone, it does belong in like B at least. In almost A, but the design is just to me. Next up we have Tangela, which is, I always thought this thing should have had an evolution from the start. It wasn't until later it got one, but like, it deserved one. Tangela was always a cute little shy guy, it looked like. Never see the Pokemon underneath the vines. It always gave me like the Mimikyu kind of feeling. I've used Tangela a little bit, but again, wasn't my cup of tea. It's just meh. It gets a D. I didn't care for it super much. Next up, Kangaskhan. I love Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan's a cool Pokemon. I used it a lot. It was a good normal typing that I used. This one's going to get an A. This one I had on my team quite often. It wasn't fast, but it was good. Put up there with Rhydon. I hope I'm pronouncing names right. This is how I know them. Next up we have Horsey. I wish I used Horsey and Seadra more. I love them. They're so cute. I love their designs. Seadra's cool. I just didn't get to use them much because they came real late in the game. But I do really like these two. And then Kingdra later on is just really awesome. I actually give these S's. I actually really like Horsey and Kingdra. Both of these Pokemon, not Kingdra, Seadra, both these Pokemon are super cool. And I like them. I would use them more if they weren't so late game. Then we have Goldeen. Goldeen's fish. It's there. It's alright. I used it sometimes. The waterfall attacks and stuff. It was nice to have. Seeking was a pretty decent speed, but I didn't use it as much to put it super high. So I would give it a B. It is, like I said, it is fish. Same with Seeking, just fish but bigger fish. Little more useful, so higher end, but yeah. Next up we have Staryu. I did use these a lot. I used Staryu and Starmie. They were one of my main water types. Again, the speed was really good. I really liked them. They could know some psychic attacks too, which was really cool. Super high on the list for me. Really good, useful Pokemon. Design's cool. Starfish is neat. I will give Staryu 8A and Starmie an A. This is definitely a design-wise above there. Where is it? The sounds they made in the anime though. Just the ha! It was so random. Starmie is definitely a little more higher. Next up we got Mr. Mime. I have used Mr. Mime. He ain't bad. Not a fan of the design, mind you. I know Ash's mom likes Mr. Mime, but it's Professor Oak's competition right here. Good housekeeper, but I'm gonna give Mr. Mime a C. It's an okay Pokemon. He's not terrible to use. It's just freaky. Enough said. Freaky. Then we got Scyther, one of my favorite bug types because design-wise this thing's just cool. I have used Scyther a little bit, but bugs never stay long in my party, sadly. This will get a higher rating. It's just cool to look at. These type of Pokemon that look cool, it's like you want to use them, even though it's like at the end they're not the best for a team, but it just looks alone make you want to use them. Evolution later on is super cool. This one gets a high tier just because of looks. I'm going to give it a B, but I didn't use it enough to justify more. Though some I do, it's just it's better than Charmeleon. Then we got Jinx. I have used Jinx a lot. Jinx is actually pretty solid ice type. I think it's ice type in Gen 1. It could be a psychic type in Gen 1, but pretty solid. The attacks help. Jinx actually more useful. Don't really care for the design, but I did think Jinx was a useful Pokemon. I'll give it a B tier for that much, but design wise it's just I'm not putting it in A. Getting towards the end, oh my gosh. Next we have Electabuzz. I love Electabuzz's design. Use Electabuzz quite often for an electric type. Wish could use more, but again, late game, hard to find. But I love Electabuzz a lot. The Thunder Punches. Really enjoyed it. Pokemon Snap, I remember trying to get Electabuzz was fun to get him to do his attacks. Electabuzz is a solid A for me. It's actually a high A. Put Electabuzz up here. Actually, it's one of the top on A, I would say. Next up, we got Magmar. Also really cool. Like Electabuzz, the same type thing. Was hard to find, get. I really like the design, even though it's butthead, basically. I didn't get to use Magmar much for that reason, but I do like Magmar. I know it's a solid Pokemon. It gets A also, and it's going to be right next to Electabuzz. Then we have Pinsir, which is a cool pug Pokemon. It's up there with Scyther. Not quite the same level in looks, I feel, but it is definitely up there in B. It was a good bug Pokemon, the Vice Grip and all that. Though I liked Heracross a bit more, but that's not this gen. It gets B, but it's not as high as Scyther. It's more than over here. Then we got Tauros, which my friend told me the other day that Tauros is a beast in Gen 1 if you know what you're doing. Apparently if you got Hyper Beam off, it was fast. You got Hyper Beam off, it wouldn't recharge and you could just attack again if you knocked the Pokemon out. Or something like that. I didn't know this. I just used I liked Alakazam. That was my go-to quick, clear knockout team Pokemon. But yeah, I like Tauros. Tauros has always been cool. I have used it normally, well, not the Hyper Beam thing, but I have used it. I like Tauros. Solid, it does good damage. Design-wise, it's cool. The newer design, the form is neat. I'd say Tauros, for me, gets a good A. Design-wise, I would say about here. Then we have the Magikarp. The one everyone likes to hate on. The Carp, the Splash King. What's to say about Magikarp? It is fish. And I'm going to go with the trope. Unfortunately, it does kind of belong in F tier. It is not super useful. I don't think its design is the worst of F tier though. I actually think it's one of the better. I don't think it's that terrible looking. But usefulness, yeah, no. And then we got the evolution, of course, that everyone gets Magikarp for, Gyarados. But I'm gonna be real, like Charizard, I feel like it's overrated. Like, it was cool in Gen 2 when I first played as a kid and seeing the red Gyarados in the Lake of Rage. But, I've used Gyarados. Gyarados is solid, but it's just for me, you know? So, it's going next to Charizard. I like its design a little more to Charizard, though. And then we have Lapras. One Pokemon I wish I could use more. I love its design. That side-eye, though. Sing was annoying, but I really like Lapras. Lapras is fun, good, like, water, ice type, or whatever it was back in Gen 1. I think it was more purely just ice, I think, at the time. May have been water. I wish I could have used Lapras more, but I love how it looks. It wasn't too terrible. I'll give it an A. It's definitely up here in looks. And then we got Ditto. I wonder, anyone ever use Ditto actually in fights outside of breeding? Anyone? I tried. I tried to have a Ditto on my team to do it. Oh boy, Ditto. Yeah, the breeding fodder Pokemon. But does anyone actually use them? I don't hate Ditto, but I mean, in the end of the day, it is just silly Putty the Blob. It is flubber. And its main purpose is yeah. Just for eggs. It is just for eggs. The daycare. Yeah. It's like I tried a couple times to use it, but I mean, you don't... It just doesn't feel like you actually have the other Pokemon. It feels weaker and all that stuff. Ditto gets an E. I don't want to give... no, actually, you know... Maybe it is an F. It's not useful. It really isn't, and it is just a blob. I'll put it... Magikarp looks better than Ditto. It'll go an F. Yeah, what it does best. It's talent, for its talent. Next up, we have Eevee. We're getting into the Eevee line. Oh boy, this is another one that's going to be hot takes for me. Eevee gets an S for me. I like plain Eevee. Eevee is adorable. Yes, we get it mainly to evolve it, but I like Eevee. Eevee gets an S. Eevee is adorable. Eevee's up here next. No, not quite with Ninetales. It's up there though. And I like foxes. But however, this is where the hot takes are gonna come in. Vaporeon! We all know the memes. Everyone likes Vaporeon's design, usually except for me. Vaporeon was alright. I mean, it's cool, but meh. It's meh. It's not my favorite. My favorite is in Gen 2. I swear that Pokemon didn't deserve the meme. I don't understand people sometimes with some of these memes. It didn't. But honestly, I mean, if they were gonna do a meme of any Pokemon with that, they should have did Salazzle. Let's be real. Have you seen Salazzle? The way Salazzle is posed? This is just happy puppy. Or even like, I understand the Banary thing, but not this. But this is, I'm gonna say it, this is just a B to me. I don't, Vaporeon's okay, I've used it, but there's better Pokemon in my opinion. The look's cute, but it can go up by a Growlithe. It's not my favorite. Then we have Jolteon. Guess what? This one is in the A ranks. Almost S rank. Actually, you know what? Do I put an S or is it an A? It'll be high A. I use Jolteon on my team a lot. This was one of my main team for Gen 1 from my electric. If I wasn't using Electromagneton, it was Jolteon for the speed. You got the Pin Missile, which was great. You got your Thunder, your basic lightning attacks, quick attack. I like Jolteon. Jolteon was way better than Vaporeon. It gets a top A. I don't think it's quite S for me, but it's top A. I do like Jolteon. Then we have Flareon. Flareon suffers the same thing with Vaporeon for me. It's cute, but it was there. It wasn't my go-to evolution for Eevee. It never has been. It can go. I like it a little more than Vaporeon, so it goes right there. I didn't use it super much. I used it a little. I tried to make a team of cute Pokemon, and it was just. Next up, we have Porygon. Now, for the person thinking I was gonna put this in S tier, no, I'm sorry. It'll probably get a high B. I don't think it's quite A. I have used it a bit, but it wasn't like a super solid team member I had, like one that really stood out to me. I have used it. I do like the design because it is just neat. This whole like computerized digital Pokemon. I mean, this is the Digimon of Pokemon of a sense. But I liked like Porygon 2 and Z a little more. It belongs in. It's better than the evolutions, I think, design-wise. That belongs in B. It was a pain to get, that's for sure. Then we have Ammonite. We got our fossil Pokemons here. Ammonite was okay. Again, I didn't get to play with it much because of how you get it in late game and all that stuff. I just didn't bother. But I have nothing against Ammonite. Design-wise, it's alright, but it doesn't really stand much out to me. So for that, it's a C. I would put this in a C tier. I would put it there. And the same for Amistar, because I didn't really use Ammonite. I didn't get to use Amistar much, but Amistar is cool. I figure it's pretty solid, but it's up here. Down here, I should say, in C. However, the Kabuto line I did use more because Kabutops is just... I love Kabutops. Kabuto is also kind of cool looking. It's way cooler than Ammonite. Kabuto gets a B. Kabuto gets B easy. It's up here. It's better than Cloyster and Shelter for sure. But Kabutops, S. This is an S. I love this design. This thing's cool. And the Mega is cool. This is an S. I love Kabutops. Next, we're at Aerodactyl. Also a super cool looking Pokemon I tried to use but didn't really care. It didn't feel that good to me. I didn't like using Aerodactyl. Even though like other like NPCs made it better, like seemed better at it than me, I just didn't keep Aerodactyl. I liked catching it, it was cool. Tell myself try using it, but never did. It's like their ancient power a little bit and then eh. However, it does get to be high B because it is cool looking. I don't quite put it in A though. It is up here though with like Arbok and everything. Next up, Snorlax, the big snuggly friend that you want to go and hug and take naps with. I love Snorlax. Snorlax is beefy, tanky, good for taking hits, that the body slam hurts. I have used Snorlax before on my team to have just a absorbing sponge that does good damage till I can revive my teammates. Yeah, friend shape, very much friend shape. I would put Snorlax in A. Not high A, but in A. I don't think it's met enough to be B, but definitely not lower. But it's an A. I'll put him here, next to Rhydon. And then, next up, we are getting into our legendary trio. I wished So in the decks, they're 144, 145, and 146. I wish it was 141, 2, and 3 because, you know, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres. It was a missed opportunity. But we have our birds here. And first we have Articuno. S tier. This is my favorite of the birds, design-wise. I love Articuno. This was my other favorite when I was little. Next to, like, Vulpix and Ninetales, Articuno was my favorite. S tier. Put it up next to Vulpix and Ninetales and Eevee. I love Articuno. It wasn't the strongest of the birds by any means, but I loved Articuno. Then we have Zapdos. I use Zapdos way more than Articuno, being the fact that it is flying and lightning. It was strong versus the other ones. I loved Zapdos a lot. I will put Zapdos in A. I think it deserves an A tier at least, for how much I used it. And then we have Moltres. Design-wise, I like Moltres a bit more than Zapdos, but I did use Moltres was the one I used the least. But I'm still gonna put it in A because it is such a cool Pokemon, design-wise. But it's going to be lower than Moltres. It can be next to Arcanine with the fire. And then we have our Dratini line, another very popular one, which I'm gonna have a hot take on, probably. My cat is coming to say hello. Dratini's cute. It is a little noodle, dragon noodle. I love Dratini. Dratini gets an A because it is adorable, and I did use it. Let's see, where would I put Dratini? Let's put Dratini next to Snorlax. Go on, go lay down. You'll get fed. Begging for food. It's not even food time for them yet. It's only like 30 minutes till you guys get fed. And then we have Dragonair. This one is S. This is another favorite of mine. I adore Dragonair. I sometimes wouldn't evolve it because how much I like Dragonair. Design-wise, it is my favorite of the trio, and it gets an S. It's high S. It's a little better than Kabutops to me, and even Eevee, actually. I love Dragonair, and I used it a lot. Then we have Dragonite. This is everyone's favorite. Well, not everyone's, but most people's favorite. But it's only an A, and it's not S for me. I like it way better than Charizard. It's just pudgy Charizard, but it's better. I don't like it more than Dragonair, no, and it's just an A. I didn't use it as much either once it was at the form. It is very huggable. It was a very good mailman in the first episode, the first movie of Pokemon. I put it in highish A. It's still cute. And then lastly, we have the Mewtwo and Mew line. We have Mewtwo. I mean, Mewtwo gets an S. I know it's kind of like everyone says that, but I do like Mewtwo. Mewtwo is cool. I do like Mewtwo. He was such an interesting Pokemon. They really went hard with that design. They did. And the Megas, I love both of them. I love both of the Megas. Mewtwo was, I love how everyone was like, Mewtwo's the most powerful, and then like not long after when we get the other gens, it was like instantly not the strongest anymore, but he's still pretty solid. Mewtwo's cool. I'm putting Mewtwo up in this. I love the alien look of Mewtwo. Yeah, same. Same, that's the one I like. I think that is that the, what is it? Y is the one with like the, how do I explain Y? X is the one that has like the slashes in the arms, and Y is the one that's like, yeah, the hair tendril. Yes, I agree. Y is my favorite. I love that look too. It's so cool. Yeah, Y is my favorite one too. X isn't bad, but I liked Y. And lastly, 151, we have Mew. Of course it's S. It's Mewtwo, but kitty cat. It's cute. Come on, Mew's gonna be up here. It's gonna be up next to Eevee. I can't. Mew is special to you? Aw. Yeah, Mew's up there. I can't put Mewtwo up there and not put Mew as well. They're like almost one in this. They are basically one in the same. The clone and then the original. Friend of mine grew up loving Mew as their avatar. Aw. It's cute. I also like how, like I said, it sounds like a kitty cat and the animal is just like, meow. But yeah, we did it. We listed them all. I see I got very bulky with B and A. I put more lower than I thought I would, but yeah, I tried to be more picky. But this is it. Gen 2 is going to be interesting to do. I'm going to continue this next week. I'm going to be doing Johto next week. I'm going to probably do it on a different day though. What I'm trying to do is I don't want to keep doing it on the same day because I play Persona usually on Friday. So I'm not holding back continuing Persona. So it's like a pause, taking turns pausing different days for this. So next week I'm going to do this on Wednesday. That's the plan. I'll have to grab all the Johto Pokemon. But yeah, this was fun. I liked it. It's nice to mix up from games all the time. And like I said, this was almost Smash or Pass Pokemon Edition to be funny, but I decided Tier List was better. Because I don't think I could take the other, like, seriously enough to not say pass to everything. Or, like, I would just be like, no. It's just nice to just rate the designs. Yeah. And it's cool because it's, like, to do it myself. And then when others do it, to see the differences, because everyone, you know, it's like I said, it's neat. One Pokemon you would think no one would like this, but yeah, someone does. Or one you think super cool might be an F tier for someone else. It's really neat to see all that. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining me today. Let's get back to just chatting. Let me turn this music off. Again, hopefully that music is safe. It said Twitch safe. I'm banking on that. I'm like nervous. I've never played like music in the background before for a stream, but for a tier list, I'm like, I kind of need something. So hopefully it was okay. I'll find a different one for next time so it's not the same one again. Hopefully a longer one of some lo-fi stuff. But yeah, thank you all for coming by. We'll be continuing this with the Gen 2 Johto edition next week. I'll have a different buddy on my shoulder, probably a different Pokeball as well, just to switch it up. I'll put my favorite on my shoulder each time is what I'll try to do. Next stream will be tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. We're continuing Remnant 2 with Hezekiah Mara. If Hezekiah is feeling okay, has some stuff they said they need to take care of, so there's a chance they might not be able to make it, but if that happens, we'll continue Life is Strange True Colors, so if you see something different than what's planned, you know what's up. So either way, there'll be a stream, or unless my flu, whatever I'm getting, gets worse. I hope not. Let's find someone to raid. My voice is already like suffering because I've had a sore throat all day. Let's see, who is live? You know what? Let's see how far they are into this. I have something special to go raid. I don't think they're super far in. So, there is a chef that I have been following on Twitter that does foods based on VTubers named Jay Sizzle. And they're interviewing a VTuber at the moment. Let's go raid them. I would like to go give them some support. They themselves are not a VTuber, however, but like I said, they interview VTubers, they do food based off of them. It's really cool. So let's go give them some love. I'll see you all over on Jay Sizzle's stream. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone. Take care, and bye-bye.